Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we are talking about the spell Guardian of Nature.
Ah, I'm a guardian of like plants, though, like a flower. Flower? I don't know.
You can become a werewolf or a tree.
That's true. You get those two options. The Druid Ranger spell from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. It's fourth level. It being a fourth level Druid Ranger spell means very different things for those two classes. It takes a bonus action to cast, which is a pretty good starting point. Verbal components, range of self, concentration up to a minute. A nature spirit answers your call and transforms you into a powerful guardian. The transformation lasts until the spell ends. You choose one of the following forms to assume: Primal Beast or Great Tree. Now, before I even get any further, concentration a minute, form changing is sketchy. But we'll keep going, because remember, if you get hit, this just stops.
Yeah.
So Primal Beast, bestial fur covers your body, your facial features become feral, and you gain the following benefits. You get your walking speed increases by 10. Neat. You get dark vision up to 120. Neat. You make strength-based attack rolls with advantage. Okay. And your melee weapons deal an extra d6 force damage on hit. That's actually pretty reasonable. Then the second option you have is Great Tree. And Great Tree is your skin appears barky, leaves sprout from your hair, and you gain the following benefits. You gain 10 temp HP, which is not enough. You make concentration saving throws with advantage, which does defend this as concentration, because concentration checks concentration saving throws, so that's kind of neat. You make dex and wisdom-based attack rolls with advantage, which is really good. And while you are on the ground within 15 feet of you is difficult terrain to your enemies. That's the whole of it.
I want to know, as a tree, why do you get advantage to dexterity saving throws?
Because they wanted rangers to be able to be allowed to cast this.
Okay.
Not for any good flavor reasons, I can tell you that. Because whenever I think tree, the first thing I think of is nimble. Whenever I think about just a stationary object made of bark and wood, I'm like, yes, that thing can dodge and weave.
I'm picturing a lumberjack just really having a hard time whacking the tree.
Exactly. Where are you at with Guardian of Nature? I don't know.
I'm not super into the tree form. The only way I could see me casting this would be for the beast form. The tree form gives you advantage on Constitution. Yeah, lets you maintain your concentration to do what? To continue being a tree. I don't know. But I mean, if you, like with a lot of other spells, if you need all of the components, then this is probably pretty good. If you need an extra 10-foot movement, if that's going to help you in this particular battle, if it's dark and you don't already have dark vision, okay, that's something else. And then if you're using a strength-based melee weapon, then that could all add up to useful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, who's using the tree? When?
So I think the tree form, if the tree form had the extra d6 damage, I would think it's a pretty great upgrade for your late game rangers to do this in one encounter instead of Hunter's Mark over 3. So you get your advantage on dex attack rolls, and those attack rolls do bonus d6 damage, so you're not losing on the Hunter's Mark. But just advantage on attack rolls is really iffy. And then wisdom-based attack rolls is like Thorn Whip, period. That's basically as far as spell attack rolls go. We've done this when we talked about Spell Sniper to come to the realization that there are almost no attack rolls in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition that use that are spell attack rolls, and that's what the wisdom-based attack rolls are. So Shillelagh is a way you could do it, right? So Shillelagh uses your spellcasting modifier instead, so druids with Shillelagh can get the advantage on Shillelagh attacks. So if you're building the Shillelagh character, which we've joked about now twice, so maybe I have to actually do that, you can conceivably get advantage on your attack rolls with it. I don't know if maintaining 15 feet around you difficult terrain with 10 temp HP is worth it. Especially whenever like the payoff is you defend your own concentration. That doesn't seem great. I don't see the tree option basically ever.
So no, but let me ask you about Shillelagh. That's wisdom.
Use your spellcasting ability modifier.
Oh, you don't get an option, so that you can't use strength for that.
I don't remember. It might be an either or. If you can use strength for it, why aren't you just attacking with the quarterstaff? So like, because the quarterstaff does a d8 damage whenever you hold it with 2 hands.
Yeah, I'm thinking for the beast character. I think it's hilarious to imagine this big werewolf guy beating me with a stick.
They can do that without Shillelagh. Yeah. I think like I like the idea of a werewolf man with a maul just cracking over people's heads, the big old log, just like it's a lumberjack character that goes full beast mode and puts down the axe and picks up the tree, right? That's how I envision that coming to fruition, which is pretty cool. I don't know. Going 10 feet faster is fine. Is Primal Beast something you're doing on your Rangers? I guess is my first question.
I mean, when do you get 4th level spells as a ranger?
13th level?
Um,
I think it's 14th or 13th or 15th. I think it's 13th.
I mean, that's competing with other 4th level spells as well.
It's also competing with your Hunter's Mark, right? Like you already have this. You've had access to this D6 bonus damage for all of time. I don't really see it being something you're eagerly picking up here. Maybe you're like there aren't a lot of great melee ranger options, but they do exist. You can do like a 2-weapon handed ranger. You probably or 2-handed weapon ranger. You're probably doing that with like almost always you want to do dex with 2 weapons. If you're doing 2-handed, you probably should be playing a paladin or a fighter is what it comes down to most to. But if you do it, I guess this is support for that. Like rangers, even when they're making melee attacks, normally you're doing it with dex. So that makes this a strength ranger option. It's that, or more realistically, what I think actually happens is you're Circle of the Moon, you wild shape into something with extra attack, and you're getting the bonus d6 damage on a more feral beast form, which is where I think that actually sees usage. Not as a ranger spell at all, but as just something that empowers the primal druid wild shape. But even those builds are goals typically to take damage, so it's going to almost immediately fall off. So I'm like, I don't. Maybe you get 2 or 3 rounds of it. That seems fine.
Maybe, but I don't know. I can't think. I don't like concentration spells that ask you to, jump into combat phase first.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. Usually, they're hard to keep up. So I like whenever other characters can cast this on me. I like Haste's dynamic specifically.
Oh, you can cast this on other people. Yes.
This targets self. So
self. Oh no. All right, never mind then.
So yeah, if we take this and compare it to something like Haste is something the wizard puts on the fighter because the wizard doesn't tend to take damage. Right. The fighter can use the AC and stuff, and that plays really nicely together. If Guardian of Nature was you make somebody a Guardian of Nature, I'd be way more for it. I think it'd be actually really sweet in that instance. But having to be you, and the better mode being the strength-based attack roll one, which again, you want your character to be doing dex damage. So you don't necessarily want to be doing the strength stuff anyway. And then the dex one is just utter trash. Like I'm trying to really envision what character this is great on. I don't see any coming to mind.
Yeah, I mean the tree. We've talked about that. There's a why. But yeah,
is 15 feet worth of difficult terrain that important? I guess maybe it forces something to dash that otherwise doesn't have to get within 30 feet of you or within 5 feet of you. So this acts as a barrier that lets you kind of kite things backwards consistently.
Or if this is on top of some other kind of area of effect spell, maybe that they don't mind also affecting you.
You can try and like keep things locked within a space.
Yeah.
But there's definitely cheaper ways to do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing it for either. I mean, the tree is already up, and like people have commented on some of the other stuff we've done about rangers don't have to be ranged. You can make a melee ranger. That's fine, but I don't want to be doing that while I've got a concentration spell going on myself.
Well, like if I do have a concentration spell going on myself, I want it to be cheap and I want it to be a long duration. I want it to be something where I can run in. I don't care if I drop Hunter's Mark, so I can put it right back up because it's only a 1st level spell slot. And I've got 4 of those at least. 4th level spell slot, and you get an extra 2d6 damage out of this? Nope, that's not it. 100% you can do better, and you should not be using a 4th level slot on this if it goes down immediately. And a strength-based ranger is going to go down pretty fast. Yeah, I want to like this spell. I think there are components here that sound interesting, but realistically, like stapling Longstrider to Dark Vision to Hunter's Mark, which is what this kind of does, that's not where the 4th level spell slot, especially for only a minute, and especially when it eats your concentration. This just isn't good enough. This could be a minute duration with no concentration. I'd still be like, I mean, you can stack it on yourself. That's pretty cool, but it doesn't even have that utility. So I don't.
No, if it was no concentration, this would be an entirely different conversation.
At least be interesting, I think, and it's a consideration at least for your Rangers. But it's
So all right, yeah, we've harped on about Rangers. What about Druids? Wow, just
class that is not particularly known for making attack rolls.
No, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, if I'm a Druid, I'm casting a bunch of spells.
So I briefly touched on Moon Druid, which is the wild shape version. They want to be making attack rolls because they turn into like a tiger or something. Normally it's something that is a high enough CR that it has multi-attack. And then you make your multi-attack action with it. I'm pretty sure you can. If you can't, you correct me in the comments down below. I've only ever seen people be really, really bored in the upper tiers. But that's not true. I've seen people in the lower tiers use it to just be a giant swath of hit points. And I've seen people in the upper tiers use it just to be, I'm 600 hit points and board this encounter. So like that's my mileage with Moon Druids. I don't think this makes it all that much better, where like you Guardian Nature yourself with your bonus action, which is what you would normally do to Wild Shape in the first place. Then you wait around, Wild Shape, get your 2 attacks off with extra 2d6 damage, and then you're getting a hit because you're supposed to get hit because your AC is like 13 and your HP is like 200 something. And then you lose Wild Shape and you lose concentration. You're like, well, that was a 4th level spell slot down the toilet. I don't know.
Now,
it's also, happening earlier at least.
Do your claws and teeth count as weapons?
They're considered melee weapon attacks. That's almost everything in this game is codified as either a weapon attack or a spell attack. So like I think unarmed strikes are also codified as they are unarmed strikes and they are also melee weapon attacks.
Okay.
Whenever they're made.
Clear that up.
I think. I could be wrong. If this doesn't work with your wild shape attacks, I don't know what to tell you. That would make no sense to me whatsoever as to why this got printed.
Even then, I mean, I guess if you're just trying to milk every little bit of damage out, maybe this is okay, but I feel like there are better 4th level options. Even
I'd rather just have like a summoned beast next to me, right?
Yeah,
like I'd rather have an extra attacking wolf ally, and even if it goes away in a round, it's doing more damage than this is.
Yeah. I got nothing else.
Yeah, same. I wanted to like it. I think it's neat thematically. It's just dookie. This is a 1 out of 5. I really don't think it's worth a 4th level spell slot on anyone. I think you're gonna regularly find you cast it and nothing good comes of it. Maybe there's some neat like cutting stuff to do with the tree form, but it's really overcosted. And the melee beast form are a bunch of low tier effects stable to a 1-minute concentration 4th level spell, and that's just not good enough.
Yeah, man, I want to give it a 2, just for something I'm missing, and commenters are gonna vindicate it, but yeah, I can't.
Maybe there's a subclass out there that makes
probably
strength attack rolls in a way that doesn't threaten their concentration, or like they defend their concentration really well, and you can keep it up for like the whole minute. But even then, you're like at its best, 10 rounds of a bonus 2d6 damage a round is not amazing. 20d6 damage over an entire encounter for a 4th level spell slot does sound fine. I don't think that's ever happening, but like that's the ceiling hypothetically. I don't see it.
That's the ceiling, but there are probably ways to get that from in a single round with the spell, or
it's a pretty high number. But yeah, you can definitely get way better than this, way more consistently. And encounters don't normally last 10 rounds; normally last 4 or 5. So yeah.
All right, well, I'm giving it a 1 as well. Sorry, Guardian of Nature.
Yeah, commoners, if you've had fun with the spell, let us know. I'm struggling to see how it's remotely castable.
All right, well, that was Guardian of Nature. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for joining us. Leave your comments down below, and like and subscribe and all that, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it. A gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.